Good afternoon. Welcome to Music Scrap, the musical scrapper. And the first thing I'm going to do today is show my digital files for my stencils. If you're interested in ordering any of these, by the middle of this week, hopefully Wednesday or Thursday, I should have my blog updated. I lost my files and had to recover them. So um, I will be updating the order form, and there are a few new files as well. So, without further ado, I am going to go through. I've got quite a few here. So, let me get to my program. Okay, so this one is called 3D Flower. Hey, Jillian. I'm just getting started, really. Hey, Judy. Okay. I'm gonna take that off. There's no need for you guys to see that. Okay. So there's the first one. Oh, sorry. I'm just gonna go in order here. I know you won't see as I go from one to the next. You'll only see when it opens up. So here is the one called 3D Fly. I just need to check something. I hope my watermark's in front of them. Yes, it is. Okay, good. Yeesh. Okay, good. Geometric 3D geometric circles. I'm sorry about my, I know I'm not supposed to clear my voice like that. I think I only have one of my Stencil. Oh, no, I have a couple left. Good. My throat is sore again, but it's my glands in my throat really that's sore. So I don't know what it is. Oh, you had me scared there for a minute. I thought I had a troll, Ange, until I read the whole thing. Oh, sorry, guys. Ugh. I've got the wrong thing clicked there. All right, sorry. 3D geometric circles. Next up is a 3D octagon mask. So that's a mask. I'm closing each one out because I don't want to end up with like 40 things open and crash my computer. So, well, actually probably wouldn't, but just in case, I am not going to risk it. There's the octagon stencil. Hey, Norma. Just going through my stencil designs here. And then the octagon stencil, that was the octagon mask. This is the, oh, octagon stencil. Oops, sorry, I did that already. 3D sphere mask. So remember, a mask blocks your background when you use it and saves it. So when you use a mask, for example, when you use this mask, anything that's black will be saved on your design, right? And when you sponge into there, stencil adds to your background. So for example, let me keep that one open, and I'll open this sphere stencil. So you'll notice with these 3D spheres, okay, all right, it's the holes in between that cutout, right, that's going to, and they're different sizes. Okay. All right, next. "3D squares, number 1. Ooh, hold on. 3D squares number 1 shows a line of squares that are kind of rounding back. Hey, Christy, nice to see you. "3D squares 2 actually turns out making it look like a block, really. I should have really called it 3D cubes, because it kind of makes your work look like a 3D cube. It really turns out neat. I have a similar stencil to this that's in crescents, so it makes a circle pop. A 3D star coming up. There's a 3D star. So the newer Cricuts, the Cameo, and there's a couple other cutters that can cut files as well. This is a star tunnel, I call it. 3D star tunnel. So it's a star shape, but it looks like a tunnel. This is just a regular tunnel. I guess it's a hexagon. No, it's not. It's got 6 sides. 2, 4, 6, 8. It's an octagon tunnel. It's an octagon tunnel 1. But it's just called 3D tunnel 1. And here comes 3D tunnel 2. That's one of my favorites. These files are anywhere between $2 and $4 to purchase. Then you have to cut the designs yourself. There's no way with one Cameo I could ever keep up with orders and designs and get to the post office. I don't drive, so getting orders to the post office and stuff like that. So for now, it's just the digital file, and I have an idea for a company perhaps to try and see if I can get a partnership with a company to cut them and sell them for me, but we'll see. Abstract spirals. I use Inkscape for the most part to design these stencils. Arches is coming up next. And this is actually a mask. That white part cuts out. So then you're kind of left with this interesting outside shape as well, if you ever wanted to use it. Oops, sorry about that. I hope this isn't too boring for people, but I want to get it recorded, so. The Argyle pattern has two parts. So the Argyle pattern has this part. Thanks, Judy. And then it has the stitching to go over top. I had to fix this part of it this afternoon. I was doing that while Janet was on because I missed some of the lines, so so that's Argyle. Comes into, you get both parts with your purchase. This one's arrows overlap. Thank you, Beth Ann. Mine tend to be very geometric. Very few are abstract. I'm a geometric kind of girl, so, or patterns. I like patterns, geometry. This one's arrow wheels. So they're simply arrows put together to create wheels. Now this is the one that I was very glad I had cut this one for myself. Oh, wait, hold on. I'll open the other one too. These are sold separately. But they're sort of like created from the same. So this is the basket weave stencil. Oh, Ange, I am not saying that out loud. So that's the basket weave stencil, basket weave. And this is the basket weave mask. So this cuts out for that black part so you can like hide your area and just add that basket weave thread on top of a design if you want. Ange and leave it to Ange and Judy to get to the censored chat. This is one of my very few abstract, my blobs mask, because people were asking for a blobs mask. I love this next one, borders. It's a really cool one. We've got circles of different sizes, triangles of a couple of two different sizes, and two different size of square borders. This was one of the first ones I designed way back when, my brick wall. And notice they're not perfect rectangles. They're a little off shape. Okay, brick wall. Bubbles. I like this one. I like a lot of mine. There's a bubble. Now these are masks, okay? So each one of these bubbles cuts out and it makes a mask. What I will do, I don't even think I've cut this out for myself yet, but when I do cut this out for myself, I will be adding repositionable glue on the back of them, and then I'll store them on a piece of plastic. That way, when you lay them down on your page to use in your journal or on your canvas or whatever, they will adhere and stay in place for you. So you can add that highlight and then maybe a glow of white or yellow or whatever around the outside of your bubbles, or pink sometimes, because I know sometimes they have a bit of a pink. And then to go, these are sold separately, but it's a bubbles. Oh, where is it? Stencil. So the bubble stencil now, just the outside ring cuts out. So if you have a cool background, you can go in with white or black and add the shape of the bubbles and white with your highlight over your cool page design to make interesting bubbles. I hope to have these cut out next week and maybe do a demo of them. I did a demo quite a while ago, but I don't actually even know if I did all of them. Checkerboard. Chevron. Haha, Judy. Actually, don't think I did a splatters one yet. It's on my list. This is circle connected mask. So it's just different size circles all connected. Hey Joan, I'm just going through my stencils. For those of you watching the recording, thanks for watching the recording. This is being recorded live on ustream.tv, so there is a chat. People are coming, people are going, and so I need to be polite and talk to my chat room. Now this one, if you buy this one, it's really cool, but it takes a long time to cut out because there are hundreds of little holes and they're tiny and there's lots of nodes, so it takes a long time to cut, but it's really cool. I love it. It's a circle grid, very basic one, just a grid of circles. It's a simple, easy one. Next one is cool. I really like this. This was also one of the very first ones I did. Circle scope, I call it. I believe it, Judy. Judy Padooty. Sorry, my mouse is, I've got sparkles from something or the other on my mouse pad, so every now and then my mouse kind of doesn't know what to do. This one's called Circle Strings because in order to have the circles like cut out, the rings cut out, you know, you have to have that line down in between or it just cuts out a circle, not a ring, right? So I had to put this line down in between, so I call it circle rings. Circle strings, excuse me. Circle with spokes, that is a stencil. All different size of like wagon wheels. And then the mask, circle with spokes mask, is, so those cut out so you can use them as a mask. Your favorite so far is the bubbles, Ange? Yay. Because you're bubbly. That's what she's trying to say, Ange. Because you're bubbly. And Circle's mask is just, it's similar to the Circles Connected, except it has some rings and some circles. So and they're overlapping and whatever. All right, so here's the crescent one, the one that I said was similar to the squares, the 3D squares, except this makes it look like a circle is popping up. And I just added a fancy border, 2 different borders around the outside. This one is like a bracket border. Oops, sorry. This one is a bracket border on the top and the bottom, and just a scallop border on the left and the right. This is a doily placemat. So it kind of looks like a placemat made from doilies. Love this one. Dotted spirals. Love it. This one makes your eyes go freaky, especially the top one. It looks like it's moving if you stare at it. Which is why I called it, it's not really a spiral, but it looks like it's moving, so which is why I called it dotted spirals. And this, once again, I made some kind of odd, just random edges on that stencil so that you can, you know, use it for border on your journal page or whatever. Equalizer, this is, of course, being a music teacher, this is, that one cuts out different shapes of bars. Oh, Dorothy's got her copper stick out. Better watch out, Judy. And Ange. This is just another kind of somewhat abstract one. It's called extended triangles. But you could also think of it as a slanted, it's just lines, but anyway, extended triangles, because that's what I called it. I've got more. Falling stars. I like this one. So different star formations. I have another one that's similar called shooting stars. You'll see when I get to the S's. Fan blades, 1. If you stare at that one, it looks like it's moving too. And fan blades 2 simply has more blades on the fan. So it's a similar design, it just has more more blades. Fine and dandelion, because of course there's a saying called fine and dandy. How are you doing? I'm fine and dandy. So I called this fine and dandelion. So you get the grass border, you get the dandelions, and then you get the dandelions blowing away, and you get the little swirly lines where you can Brenda, B3. Oh gosh. And this is my version of giraffe print. Hi, B3, by the way. Thanks, Joan. I love your designs, too. Grid stars. Stars with different grids, that's all. And those are masks, by the way. And grid stars 2. Those are stencils, not exactly the same, because some of them don't, they're all just grids. That's not, I guess you could use it as lightning, but it's giraffe. But yes, you could certainly use it as lightning. All right, where am I? Hatches. So these are just hatch lines. And it has a cool edge. So once again, you can use the edge of this to make cool borders on your journal pages or your ATCs or whatever. Thanks, Joan. Oh, my voice is disappearing. My throat's sore again. Now these are hash marks, but in shapes. And then once again, 2 different borders. Poor Judy keeps changing her mind which one's her favorite. You don't know which one because the chat is so far behind in the lag. I don't know which one is her favorite. Heart spiral. So here's some hearts with spirals inside. Different sizes. It's the same sets of spirals. I've just made them different sizes. A variety of sizes. And those are masks. And another similar one, except there's the spirals are cut out of the heart instead of, anyway, yeah. Thanks, Joan. Yeah. They're all your favorite, Beth Ann? Uh-oh, what's the ooh for, Ange? The hearts? Oh, yes, I should have known you would like the hearts. Ange likes hearts. I don't have any butterflies, Ange. So this is a hexagon offset with a narrow line in between each hexagon. And then I have a hexagon offset too, which has wider lines between the hexagons, I think. Yes. The hexagon offset 2 has wider lines like wider sections between the hexagons. So once again, these will go up on my blog, hopefully by Wednesday. This is a hexagon tunnel, but it's the hexagon is flipped each time, so they kind of overlap each other. And then I have one that's just a hexagon. Oh, wait, now, no, that's the same one. Hold on. Honeycomb. So the honeycomb is slightly different from the hexagons. It is a stencil. It has some of the hexagons missing. It's just slightly different than the hexagon 2. Illusional. This one is cool. This one is really neat. It's called illusional because there's an illusion. You can't tell which way, whether the boxes are sitting up or if they're sitting down. It's really cool. I like it. I like it. That one makes you dizzy. Interlocking rings. Okay, once again, in order to make it a stencil, I had to cut down through the rings. Thanks, Joan. Your basic lattice stencil. Yeah, kind of like a slinky, Judy. You're right. Oh, really, Judy? I did. We used to walk them down our basement stairs all the time. Lattice circles. So these are circles that have lattice cut out of them. Because, you know, I love circles. So, gotta have some lattice circles. Now I've included my lettering guides, like Janet uses. So I have a lettering guide in small, quarter of an inch, third of an inch, 3/8. I can't remember the exact, but 4 different widths of lettering guide. So that's the lettering guide. Hold on. That's the small lettering guide, the medium lettering guide, and the larger lettering guide. Now the lettering guide you want to cut out of a thicker acetate. I had some acetate left from my self-laminating 8.5 by 11, and that's what I cut them out of. And my cameo didn't quite go all the way through, but with the double cut it went through far enough that I could then take my craft knife and go into the groove and cut it the rest of the way. I'm not good with the craft knife, so I could never have done it just with the craft knife, but the cameo scored it enough that I could do that. So now we have a linked squares mask and stencil. This comes as a set. So there's the stencil for the linked squares. And then this is the mask. So when this cuts out, the white part is what ends up being your piece of plastic. I have one map so far. There's my map stencil. This one I call Noodles. There's a stencil and a mask. Another one of my few abstracts. So there's the stencil. To me it looked like fettuccine, so that's why I called it Noodles. And then there's a mask. I probably won't make this video, well, I won't put it up on YouTube until I get my, where are we? Numbers mask. I likely won't put it up on YouTube until I get my blog updated, because it doesn't make sense. That way I can put my blog link in my YouTube information. Like I said, my stencils are all between $2 and $4. Octagons. Just a grid of octagons. No, Bethan. Oh dear. This is octagons overlapping, so it's all created with the octagons overlapping each other. It's kind of really cool what you can do with shapes and geometry. Creates those really cool stars and diamonds and flowers. So, because you can think of these as flowers, or you've got kind of a four-pointed star. You've got diamonds here. Anyway, but you can still see the shape of your octagon. Octagon Frenzy. So there's octagons again, but over in a different way linking. That was all created by me repositioning and lining up octagons, believe it or not. Orbits. This one's cool. This one I call Pillow, because it kind of looks like a tufted pillow. And this is called Plaid 1 because I thought I was going to do another plaid, but I didn't get around to it yet. But there's your plaid. I'm going to try to do, this is a mask. I want to do the same thing, and it would be part of the same, it would be a pair. I want to do a stencil with the plaid as well. So I have to see if I can do that. But for now, it's just a mask. Judy. Oh, Lord. You are too funny. This one is called Postage Cancellation. So it has your circle and your cancellation stamp. 3 different colors, sizes of the circle. And then these match as well, but they're just longer. I had space on the page, so I just added. Ringo. I like this one. So it's similar to the Slinky one, but it's more, the circles are more straight on rather than tilted. So basically they're just kind of bigger. Judy. Can't turn it off. Oh my gosh, my throat is sore. Shooting stars. So this one's similar to the falling stars, but what I've done, it's a set of 5. All right, so what I've done is you have the shooting stars. Okay. So you have them in straight line in the 2 different, with the 5 and with the 3. And then you have them on a curve in the 5 and the 3. But then I've also done them as separate for you, so that you can also then resize them yourself if you want to make them larger or bigger, or you can have them as separate stencils, so it's easier. Norma, I've done them all so that they can be cut on an 8.5 by 11 sheet. So they're either that size or smaller, but you can also enlarge them to fit on a 12 by 12. And right now, yes, they are a digital download file that come in JPEG, PNG, PNG, DFX, an SVG, and then also a silhouette file, cameo file. Well, cameo or portrait, we'll cut it out. Right now, I can't sell them with me cutting them out for people because I would never, it takes a while for your machine to cut it out. Let's just put it that way. Some of them are fairly fast. Some of them, the more detailed ones, take longer. So I would be spending my whole entire days if I got a large order from someone or orders from lots of people. But I am looking into, I'm writing up an email right now. It's not ready to send yet, to a company hoping that they may partner with me to cut stencils. So if that happens, of course, I will update and let everyone know if that ever happens to go through. I don't know what their policy is. I don't know how they go about getting designers for their site for stencils and stuff. So I'm not going to say anything beyond that. But for right now, I'm just selling the files. So yes, you would need either one of the newer Cricuts or a Silhouette Cameo or Portrait. Or there are other machines out there, a couple of other desktop electronic cutters that will cut those type of files as well. But for now, that's the best I can do at the moment. Okay, so bye, Ange. Enjoy your dinner. I have a skyline stencil, so you get the outline mask, and then you get, you get a stencil that matches it. Okay, where you can, to add the windows and whatever. So spiral combo. Someone told me, it said, "Oh, that looks like a stovetop." And it does. Here's a square frenzy, which is similar to that circle one, but it's all squares. So that one, once again, takes quite a while to cut out. All right, this one I call squared off. This one, stained glass tiles created with squares. Star doilies. And for one that's another abstract one, like my noodles, this one's called Sticks. A stencil version. And a mask version. Thanks, Beth Ann. Thanks, Orla. This one is Stitched Circles. This is one of my favorites. I have too many favorites, but I love this one. Almost there. Target masks. So there's targets, and it has the separate, so you can do this mask, but then this is a stencil that goes with it so that you can do the cross hairs in a different color if you want. And so I have it too, the crosshairs to match each size. Thanks, Beth Ann. Sometimes it's easy to come up with the name, and sometimes it's like really hard because you kind of want the name to describe what it makes you think of, but may not make someone else think of that. And this is Target Masks too. It's just a series of targets. I think I'm going to have to go to the doctor tomorrow. And then I have the targets, which is the, I should pair those up. That should go together because that's the stencil version of the mask. Those should actually, this is a 12 by 12 one, but you could do it 8 by 8 if you wanted. Judy! Oh my gosh. I won't say that on tape just in case it gets you in trouble, Judy. I think I'll combine those target masks, those targets. This is one of the first stencils I designed. I think this and the brick wall. These are the first two stencils I designed. A tire tread. So tire treads in different sizes. Judy might also want those. Oh, another one of my favorites. Warp Speed. It's that look that you get after the Starship Enterprise goes into warp speed. Two left, I think. Yes, wheelies. They're really, I guess they're daisies too, but I started with the thought of them being wheels, but they look more like daisies. I may have to change that one. No, but anyway, it's wheelies. And one more is words. Now, the words one has many different combinations. I haven't figured out a price. Well, I had it in my other list, but I've done some work to it. So what I've done is, I don't think anyone purchased it from my last one. So this is a stencil with some words that I thought people would use on cards or journal pages or whatever. So that's an 8.5 by 11 version. Then I have a 12 by 12 version. But then what I've done is I've taken each word and given you each word in its own stencil, so that you can resize them to whatever size you want and cut them out in different sizes and have them on their own so they don't get in the way when you're trying to stencil on your page. And if you want to use love, for example, on a card, you're going to want to cut it smaller than if you're going to use it in a journal page, right? Okay, so I'm for those of you watching the recording, thank you so much for watching the recording. And by the time this goes on to YouTube, my blog, themusicalscrapper.blogspot.com or .blogspot.ca, The Musical Scrapper, all one word, it will be updated by the time this goes live on my YouTube channel. So if you wish to order, all the information will be on that blog post. Thank you very much for watching.